Hello Aries, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we are going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Aries for the week of February 21st. Now Aries, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now Aries, I do not offer personal readings, so if you get a message from someone, that is not me, that's someone impersonating me. Please do keep that in mind. Please do not get scammed. I also do exclusive content on my Instagram, so if that's your thing, definitely give me a follow there. But with all of that said, let's go ahead and see what we have here for you, Aries. Now, if you watch my content regularly and you have not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that. It really helps my channel grow in a big way. Same is true if this is just the first time that you are watching me. All right. So we have here for you, Aries. Let me make sure everything is in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. But first, we're actually going to do something a little bit different here. I'm going to take four tarot cards ahead of time to clarify as we go along. Then I'm going to take a few oracle cards as well. We'll put those here, and we'll grab a couple more oracle cards as well. All right, I think that's good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, you have the Knight of Cups. So Knight of Cups is all about, this is a really good card to find, especially because it looks like some of you are maybe dealing with some challenges here at this time. So I'm glad to see this Knight of Cups because this can be about some sort of happy event arriving in your life. This can refer to general happiness between you and another person. This would be if that is what you're talking about, or if that is the situation that you find yourself in. This would be someone you think a lot about. This would be someone who you romanticize about, fantasize about potentially, and probably someone you're extremely interested in romantically. If it refers to you and another person. And this could also, if it's not romantic for you, what could be going on is there could just be a generally happy event arriving, which is always a good sign, right? In any situation. It can also say that potentially some of you are putting energy towards creative projects. You're looking to get a creative venture off the ground or start something creatively. So let's go ahead and put that right here. And let's dive into this reading a little bit more. So right away in the middle, you have the Devil. So the Devil is a challenge, okay? And this middle card does spill into the rest of the cards here. And so when you get the Devil, this is a card that I like to refer to as a card of our shadows. It's something that we have to work through in this lifetime. And, you know, I don't know anybody who doesn't have at least one thing that they've had to work through in their lifetime. And it's typically a continual process, right? And so, you know, I feel like life is like just a continual learning process for most of us. And that's what the Devil can represent. We don't have to catastrophize this card. It really just means that potentially there could even be negative thinking involved. When I get the Devil, I see that come in very often, a skew towards the negative in your life. The Devil could also just say that potentially some of you are working through an issue related to addiction. And remember that can come in many forms. It can come in video games, overeating, YouTube, Netflix, whatever the case may be. It can be, of course, substances in situations like that, gambling as well. But the Devil is the sort of like hedonist side of our lives, right? Which we all kind of have, I feel like, at certain points. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling here. But again, you know, some of you may feel like this Knight of Cups will never arrive. That could be the thing with the Devil coming in, where it's like some of you are waiting. And yeah, so that could certainly be the case. Now, in the past, you have the Four of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Moon. So the Four of Cups here represents potentially someone who's bored and apathetic. And this could also say that you want to be careful that you do not miss out on a potential opportunity here that is right in front of you. The person on this card is thinking about these 3 cups of the past, and they're missing out on what is right in front of them, right? And so it can warn you of being careful of missed opportunities. It can also say that, listen, boredom and apathy is not really ever going to serve you well in this lifetime. And so it can come as a sort of wake-up call to like maybe check in with yourself and ask yourself, how are things going? Do I want to be making more progress in life? And I have to say, I kind of just I peek towards the future. I normally don't look towards the future until we get there in these readings. So like I allow the reading to kind of unfold over time. But I do feel like that some of you are maybe concerned about cheating. The moon represents something not being as it appears. This can represent a deception in your life. You actually have the 2 major cards that I would say representing deception here with the moon and the 7 of swords. The devil as well. This can be cheating. I didn't mention that in the beginning. It can be cheating. I never like doing readings like this, but there are a number of things. The only thing we're missing is the 3 of cups. And so you could be dealing with a charmer in your life. I don't mean to like laugh at this situation, but some of you may be dealing with somebody who's like a legitimate like charmer. And that's just coming in. This Page of Wands can represent somebody, Aries, who's potentially hasty in their actions. This can be somebody who's a little flighty, who moves between person to person. And I never like doing negative readings, but this is what's coming in. Okay, this is what's coming in. And I just have to, I feel like I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't say what I felt like was happening here. You may have had suspicions about this person in the past. The thing about the thing that I don't like about boredom is that boredom can lead us to create stories about a situation because, when we give ourselves all of that time and we're not utilizing the time effectively, our mind can wander and go different places. So in reality, some of you could be creating stories that are not true here in your mind, but I also do see a number of red flags in terms of cheating as well. So kind of a mixed message, but that's just kind of what's coming to my mind here. So in the middle, in the current situation, you have the 5 of Cups, the Devil, and the Chariot. So the 5 of Cups here, we have the 4 into the 5 of Cups progressing. So for me, that always represents that situations are moving along, and the 5 of Cups is here showing up in the row of your thoughts, or what is on your conscious awareness. And this can represent you realizing that you're maybe a little bit down at this time. This person, similar to the 4 of Cups, the 3 cups here are now spilled. And so while this person was thinking about the 3 cups of the past, this person is recognizing that those cups are now spilled, and they're feeling a little bit down about that. The thing is, when you get the 5 of Cups, realize that there are always more opportunities available, just like the 4 of Cups. But in this case, this person, all they need to do is turn around and realize that there are 2 cups behind them overflowing. And so it is a message to always look on the bright side when you get the 5 of Cups. Now, we talked about how you have the Devil here in the middle, which can be a tendency to be negative, or this can be just anything that is sort of hedonist or hedonistic in our life. You have the Chariot here as well, which represents actually overcoming obstacles, overcoming difficulties, and they're external as well. Typically, they're typically difficulties that are happening outside of you, maybe from other people or from your workplace or just life generally. The good news is you do have this Chariot indicating that I do feel like you will surmount the difficulties here of the Devil and of these other energies that we're picking up here. You will ultimately come out on top because the Chariot is a major card of victory in your life. And so I do think that is coming. I think you're dealing with a hurdle. I think you're dealing with a challenge here at this time. In the future, you have the 9 of Wands, the 7 of Swords, and the 3 of Swords. So this is the issue that I'm looking at here. This 9 of Wands can represent defensiveness. Okay, it can also represent somebody who's a little timid, shy. This can also be somebody who's annoying you. Since we are talking about a relationship primarily here, it feels like. It may mean, for some of you, I'm getting like a bunch of different stories here. I do see that for some of you here, you have a suspicion around cheating. Okay, the Devil, the 7 of Swords, and the 3 of Swords, that's like a major combination of that happening. Maybe even, the 3 of Swords on its own would not be a third party situation, but since we have all of these other cards, that could certainly be the case. The Seven of Swords in it of itself can represent lying, cheating, stealing, and the Three of Swords represents a breakup, a separation, a divorce, anything like that. And you have it with the Devil, which can be like promiscuous or sexual in nature. And so, some of you may be dealing with that, okay? Now, others of you, you've created a story about this happening and it hasn't happened yet. Okay, so I'm getting multiple stories. Some people, you are dealing with this. Other people, you are defensive, and there's a story being created here about that situation happening. So let's go ahead and clarify this situation even more. You have okay, I definitely like these clarifiers. So you have the Ace of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. All right, so some of you here are getting a new opportunity in the face of a difficulty, in the face of a challenge. You also have the King of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. Really like that energy as well. So the Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles is a major opportunity in the material. What some of you may decide to do is go on your own. The Nine of Pentacles can indicate being single or single energy, since this is primarily love reading. But the thing is, you may be focused on your money, okay? Money may be on your mind here at this time with the Ace of Pentacles and the and the Nine of Pentacles. The Three of Wands, you moving on to better things, working and moving towards growth instead of staying, potentially under the tree like the Four of Cups person is. You're moving towards growth, you're moving towards expansion in your life. King of Swords is somebody who might not take an emotional interest in you. And so you may just need to give yourself a fair shot here as well. And so if this is an aspect of yourself, you may just need to give yourself a fair shot and do what's best for you at this time. Let's see what these oracle cards are. So we have perfect timing, abundance, and weight. So we are now getting some money messages here. Page of Wands can represent a job offer. It just felt like this situation was primarily love, but we do have this abundance card. We do have the Ace and the Nine of Pentacles. Some of you are getting an opportunity here in the future. This may come after overcoming a personal difficulty. Okay, some of you are overcoming a personal difficulty here, and this will lead to a big opportunity in some other area of your life. Oftentimes the emotional side of ourselves and the love side of ourselves, the love and the relationships in our lives, if they're not going well, they can absolutely provide money blockages for us. You have the Warrior, be fearless and stand strong, as well as Direction Guardian, choose your path, as well as Moon, take note of intuitive messages. Yeah, so you have the Moon Tarot card, and now you have the Moon Oracle card. You also have this idea of like needing to choose between paths here with the Direction Guardian. The Three of Wands indicates that there is a path open for you, and you are kind of looking out towards the horizon thinking like, I have the entire universe, I have the entire world in front of me. Why was I spending my time with this clown when I could have just, been working on building my empire, let's say. And I feel like that is potentially coming in for some of you here. So hopefully you stuck around to the end. This was a bit of a challenging reading, but I love the way that this ended for you. I do think you're getting a major opportunity after you overcome some sort of personal challenge or difficulty. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. Take care, and I will see you in the next reading.